The next option along here is for transitions. So these are what I like to avoid, mostly because some of them are terrible. Have a look at this, for example. That's arrows. Don't know why anyone would ever want to use that. Maybe in a children's comedy show on CBBC or something like that. Other children's TV channels are available, but I would just stick to the basics if you're going to use it. So simple blurs, Gaussian blurs, nice, directional blur, or a cross dissolve, or fade to color, fade to black, something like that. I wouldn't go too crazy on the transitions. They don't follow modern film protocol, so yeah, avoid those. The next option is for titles. If you select titles, it gives you tons of options. There are also some 3D options now, which you didn't used to have, but you can now use. I tend to just use the basic title option. The reason for that is because there are so many options of how you can adjust it that there's not really all that much point in going through and selecting some really cheesy Boogie Lights option, for example. Again, it's just a case of dragging and dropping. Select basic title, drag it on top of your video clip. You can shorten it and lengthen it the same way that you shorten and lengthen your video clips, or you can slice it with the blade tool if you want to and take bits out. Hit backspace and that will go away as per your video clips. So once you've added a title on there, go up to the effects browser and there are lots of options that you can change. So I can change what it says. I'm going to change it to say example. I can change the font, I can change the font size. I might go through and decide I want something like Hiragino Sans, or whatever it's called, and change the width of that. There are lots and lots of different options. You can change the alignment. If you click advanced, you can change your tracking, which is the space in between the letters. You can select for all caps. If you go to face, then you can select a particular color. So I might decide that I like the look of this kind of turquoise color. And your opacity again, which makes it slightly see-through. You can even change your blur, which just sets it out of focus. So you can make it look really nice if you spend a decent amount of time on it. Titles are quite important, so if I were you, I would try and spend a bit of time making those look nice. Again, if you wanted to make those titles fade in and fade out, right click, show video animation, go to your compositing opacity, and using these icons, just drag them from either side and you'll see now that the text fades in and then it also fades out. Okay, so the video in the background isn't very good because of the way I've cut it up, but it is fine for the purposes of this exercise. And there are some really cool effects over here that you might want to use if you're doing something very specific, so such as atmosphere, which is kind of like universal. If you're doing something about space or geography or something like that, it might be helpful. There are a few other options. There's a horrible Star Wars type thing going on there, but there are some that that are really nice, artistic looking. It could be useful, but ideally you would kind of create these yourself rather than having to come in and just drag and drop something that someone else has made. But it is an option.